Sales staff at dealerships right now are quitting in droves. They cannot sell this overpriced junk. Because of the last few years, dealerships took full advantage, charging market adjustments, addendum stickers, all this stupid stuff with stupid charges like nitrogen-filled tires. We've seen all sorts of stupid stuff. Window tint for $1,500, all sort of crazy charges. And on top of that, the manufacturer rose the MSRP to the moon, so now they're way overpriced to begin with, and the dealership trying to make all their money. So it's not like that anymore. Now customers are negotiating. It's getting harder for the dealership to make what they used to call 10-pounders, 15-pounders, where they would make $10,000, $15,000 on front-end gross profit. Before 2020, the only way a successful car dealership really made it, especially franchise, was volume. They took a volume mindset. So the mindset was to sell as many cars as possible. We can lose in front-end gross profit, but we'll make it up in the long run because we're going to sell more cars, we'll get it more from the manufacturer, and we're also going to get more service customers. But they took a different approach. 2020, less cars were available. They needed to make as much money per car, especially the greedy ones that did the market adjustments. I sold cars. Guess what? We had the C8 Corvette, no markups. That was super rare. Pretty much every Chevy dealership was doing market adjustments. But guess what? We had a 2-year waiting list. And other dealerships, they would get them in stock, but they would have a $20,000, $30,000, or $40,000 market adjustment on a Corvette. It was insane. And to be fair, a lot of times the management or the owner would not let the salesman get a piece of that, but still, the salesman's interacting with that transaction. I couldn't do it personally, but I couldn't be involved in car sales anymore because really the finance department, it's so bad how they screw you over left and right. You go in that box, they're going to get you to buy all this sorts of junk, and you charge an arm and a leg, and it's not worth it. They rip you off 15 ways from Sunday. And so they ripped all their customers off for the last few years. Even if you were a smart person and you negotiated, it was super rare to get it below MSRP, especially 22, 23, and so all these customers paid super high prices. Now they come back in, they're upside down. So negative equity is all over the place, so people can't buy a car even if they want to. And people are not necessarily making the smartest financial decisions when it comes to cars. Generally speaking, I think over 80% of buyers are payment buyers. And the average interest rate at a local Chevy dealership in your area is probably over 12%. So they screwed their own customer base, and now the banks are finally saying no, not approving loans, making it harder. So a salesman works a deal, tries to get the person approved. They say no, can't get them approved without a down payment. And the dealership will have to pay a bank fee to get bad credit approved. And bad credit's becoming more common because of student loans, because of all this stuff. Everything's getting more expensive. Credit card debt, all this stuff going on is making it harder for car sales. And believe it or not, US sold less cars in 2024 than they did in 2016. And I can guarantee you one thing, there's a lot more car salesmen. In 2020, 21, 22, so many people got into car sales. It was a get rich quick, basically. Make $100,000, make $200,000, make $300,000 selling cars. Well, that stuff's over, and it really wasn't even like that, but some people were making some money, but still, it ain't nothing like that anymore. And so every dealership has way more staff than they need because salespeople are on commission, generally speaking, at 99% of dealerships. And guess what? They don't cost them anything to stand there, and they just stand there and wait around, and they hope they can get a deal. But it just isn't going to happen. All this stuff's way overpriced. No one wants it anymore, and people are finally just saying, I'm not going to buy a new car. I've never known more people to keep their older car than now. More people to say, hey, I'm going to start repairing my car more. And guess what? They're not going to go to the dealership to get it repaired because they already got screwed over from the service department too. So pretty much everything about a dealership is trying to get as much money as they can out of you, and they will screw you over 15 ways from Sunday. Big time. They took full advantage of the supply chain issue and they charged insane prices even when they didn't have to, like a market adjustment. The car is already expensive. You already make plenty of money on the car. On top of that, you're going to throw $10,000, $15,000 on a Kia Telluride? Like, get out of here. We've seen it on everything. Ford Rangers, we've seen it on everything. And they got to get out of here with that stuff. And the salesman was part of it, and now they just can't sell any more cars. They're standing around like, hey, I got to get a new job. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Most people don't feel sorry for car salesmen because, hey, car salesman's not necessarily like the most honorable career. A lot of people look at it in not so good of a way. It's actually very disliked in the general public. I feel like most people are on the same page. Dealerships honestly showed their true colors over the last few years. Whenever supply chains went down, they took full advantage and they lost a lot of customers. Repeat customers at dealerships where they had families that went there, like my grandson son bought a car here. I bought a car here. Now they're saying I'm not buying anymore because that same dealership said, we're doing a market adjustment. Sorry, sir, we got $10,000 on top just because we want to make more money and we can. And that's what turned away so many customers, especially from certain dealerships. And they lost a lot of repeat customers, and they're finding other dealers that never did market adjustments. And they're out there, but it's few and far in between. So unfortunately, the employees are quitting in droves, saying, I can't do this anymore. Let me know what you think. Have a great day and stay blessed.